Hi everyone. Today we'll discuss about immunity. Immunity is a term which you all must have heard. Now let's see what is immunity. As you all know, when we are born with an immune system. Now what is this immune system? Immune system consists of lymphoid organs, lymphoid tissues as well as a lymphatic vessels. Now the ability of our body cells to fight against disease causing organisms, which is provided by our immune system, that is called as immunity. As you all know, when we are born with this immunity. So immunity is defined as the ability of the host cells to fight against disease causing organisms. What are disease causing organisms? Called as pathogens. So now let's see the different types of immunity. Immunity can be broadly classified into two types. Which are they? The first one, innate immunity, and the second one, acquired immunity. Now let's see what is innate immunity. The term innate means inborn. When a person is born, he or she will be born with this immunity. Now, innate immunity is considered as a non-specific type of immunity. Non-specific means it acts against all the pathogens in the same manner. Let it be a virus, let it be a bacteria or any other microorganism or any pathogen. This immunity will be acting the same way. That is, it is called as non-specific. And it is considered as the body's first line of defense. The second type of immunity is called as the acquired immunity. From the word it's very clear, acquired means we acquire it. When do we acquire this immunity? We acquire this immunity when during our lifetime. When we come across certain pathogens, when a virus enters our body, that time we call that we are suffering from or we have an infection. So when we have an infection, we acquire this type of immunity. Or in other words, we can say this is the immunity which is specific. Acquired immunity is specific type of immunity. It acts against a particular pathogen in a specific manner, whereas innate immunity is non-specific. Acquired immunity is specific. Now let's see the different types of innate immunity. The innate immunity is provided by certain barriers. Now what are barriers? Barriers are certain obstacles which prevent the entry of certain things. For example, when a pathogen tries to gain entry into our body, the body has certain barriers. That is like skin, for example, skin. So the innate immunity is provided by barriers. And the four different types of barriers which provide innate immunity are physical barriers, cellular barriers, physiological barriers and cytokine barriers. So the four types of barriers are physical, physiological, cellular and cytokine. Now acquired immunity is divided into two types, that is active immunity and passive immunity. Now let's see which are the different types of innate immunity barriers in bit detail. The first one, as I've told you, it is physical barrier. Physical barrier acts as the first line of defense. So the two main physical barriers are the skin and the mucous membrane. Now how does the skin act as a barrier? Our body is, when a person is born, the person is born with skin. So the body is covered with skin and the skin acts as a waterproof and a germ-proof layer. It acts as a waterproof layer as well as a germ-proof layer. Now it's mucous membrane. Mucous membrane is a membrane which is made up of mucus secreting cells which are called as a goblet cells, and the mucus prevents the entry of microorganisms, and this mucous membrane is found lining all the openings of our body, like the ear opening or the mouth opening, or the mucous membrane is found lining all the tracts like the respiratory tract, the digestive tract, the urinogenital tract, everywhere. So wherever there is an external opening, there is a chance of the entry of microorganism through those openings. So those openings will be lined by mucous membrane, and this mucous membrane prevents the entry of these microorganisms by secreting the mucus. So whenever a microorganism tries to gain entry inside the opening, through these openings, what happens is the membrane cells, the mucus cells get irritated and they start secreting mucus, and the microorganisms gets attached to the membrane. It gets attached to the membrane, thereby destroying or killing those microorganisms. So that is the first type of barrier, physical barrier. Now let's see physiological barrier. Physiological barriers include the acid in the stomach. You all know which is the acid which is present in our stomach, HCl, and we have studied it last year. HCl destroys the microorganisms which reaches the stomach. So acid in the stomach acts as a physiological barrier. The second physiological barrier is the saliva in the mouth. So mouth has saliva, and this saliva contains an enzyme which is called as a lysozyme, which kills the bacteria or microorganism. So that is how it acts as a barrier. The third one, tears from eyes. So from our eyes, always there will be, whenever some pathogen or some microorganism or some dust gets inside the eyes, what happens is the eye starts watering, and tears are produced, and this tears also contain certain antibacterial enzyme which is called as a lysozyme. So that is how physiological barriers provide immunity. Now the next one, cellular barriers. Cellular barriers are mainly the WBCs which are present in our blood. So you know what are WBCs? WBCs are the white blood cells. The main white blood cells which provide this immunity are the leukocytes, the neutrophils, and the monocytes. So these are the three major cellular barriers which provide innate immunity. Coming to the fourth one, cytokine barriers. Cytokine barriers are nothing but certain chemicals which are secreted by the virus-infected host cells. Whenever a virus enters our body, what happens is the cell which is infected by the virus starts secreting certain proteins, and these proteins are called as interferons. Now what is the function of this interferon? Interferon prevents the multiplication of this virus, further multiplication of the virus. So interferons can be defined as antiviral proteins secreted by virus infected host cells which prevent further viral multiplication. So these are the four different types of innate immunity barriers, that is physical barriers, physiological barriers, cellular barriers, and cytokine barriers. Now we'll discuss about acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is a specific body defense which an individual acquires during his lifetime. Once again, acquired immunity can be defined as a specific body defense which an individual acquires during his lifetime. Now, acquired immunity is pathogen specific, means it acts against a particular pathogen in a specific manner. It's not like innate immunity. In innate immunity, for every pathogen, the response will be the same. It responds, for example, skin, let it be any pathogen, it responds in a same manner. Whereas here in acquired immunity, the immune response is pathogen specific. Now there are two types of responses. The first one is called as a primary response, and the second one is called as the secondary response or anamnestic response. Now what is primary response? Primary response is a response which the body responds when a pathogen enters the body for the first time. It is a response shown by the body when a pathogen enters the body for the first time. And secondary response is the response uh, uh, shown by the body when the same pathogen enters the body a second time. So when the same pathogen enters the second time, the body responds to that in a different manner. That is called as secondary response. Now, this response, that is the primary response and the secondary response, is provided by two types of lymphocytes. They are the B lymphocytes and the T lymphocytes. As you know, lymphocytes are the WBCs. Now, what is the difference between B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte? B lymphocyte is a lymphocyte which originate in the bone marrow. They mature and develop immunocompetence in the bone marrow itself. Whereas in T lymphocytes, what happens is these lymphocytes originate in the bone marrow, but later they migrate to the thymus gland. There's a small gland near the throat region, and this thymus gland, the T lymphocytes migrate from the bone marrow to the thymus gland and mature and develop immunocompetence in the thymus gland. So that's the main difference between B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. Another important difference between B and T lymphocytes is B lymphocytes produce antibodies against the pathogen, whereas T lymphocytes do not produce the antibodies, but it activates the B lymphocytes to produce antibodies. So that's the difference between B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes provide antibodies or produce antibodies, and the antibodies which are produced by the B lymphocytes will be released into the body fluids. The body fluids are called as humor, HUMOR, humor. So that is the reason why the immunity provided by B lymphocytes is also called as humoral immunity or antibody mediated immunity or AMI. So B lymphocytes provide humoral or antibody mediated immunity, whereas T lymphocytes, they, as I've told you, they originate in the bone marrow, but they migrate to thymus gland and develop immunocompetence in the thymus gland. These T lymphocytes provide cell-mediated immunity. That is, they produce a number of cells which provide the immunity. And that is why the immunity provided by T lymphocytes is called as cell-mediated immunity. So that's all about acquired immunity. So acquired immunity is pathogen specific. It forms the body's third line of defense. Then it produces two types of response, primary response and secondary response. Then these responses are provided by two types of lymphocytes, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes, they provide humoral or antibody mediated immunity because they produce antibodies, whereas T lymphocytes, they provide cell mediated immunity because and they do not produce antibodies. So that's all about